Today's video, we're going to talk about Uber journey ads. If you were wondering if these work or not, or were consider using them, I'm going to talk about what they are and how you're going to be able to make money with them. Not just in an abstract way, but I give a specific case study here that we've actually tested these. So you can understand how they could work and then the actual practical use cases where they would work. Because it's not just any business where this is going to work, okay? There's specific use cases where this is going to work extremely well, like we had already. But in 90% of the time, you can find basically something better other than the Uber journey ads to spend your ad money on, most likely. But so I'll put all that in the frame of reference for you in today's video so you can understand if you should be doing it for yourself or not, or whether it's likely to pan out. Obviously, you can go ahead and test things despite my warnings and my advice. You should take my word at gospel, but I'll at least tell you what I think, what has worked for us on our end. So with that said, the Uber journey ads specifically, which are a brand new ad type that are out there, and by the time you watch this might be 2030 and it's not new anymore, but for now, it's still in 2024, it's still fairly new. And what they have done at this time is they let you target people that are doing two different things, which is what makes it good for some companies and not others. Either you could target people where they're going, such as they're going to a sporting event on their way there, okay? Or you could target people by what they are getting, picking up delivery food specifically. So what you actually have, just so you understand where the ad just goes, the status screen that you have on Uber, on the app, when you're driving somewhere, it's going to show up here closer to the bottom of the screen. You may have already seen these ads already, but that's essentially what you got. That's your ad placement. Things may change in the future, but that's what you got, which makes sense. So with that, I should say, the number one use case for you guys is going to be targeting people by where they're going, so that while they're looking at the phone, where they're at, or waiting for the vehicle to actually arrive, your ad shows up there at the bottom of the screen. You got a highly targeted ad to get in front of somebody for certain markets, certain things, certain niches is going to be extremely very profitable. Can't speak today. Very profitable for you to do. So with that said, okay, this is actually, you may be thinking right to yourself, well, we've already had geofencing ads where you can target people in a certain geographic area. Therefore, what's so unique about this? Or, it's just something else I can do. I can geo-target people in a smaller area with many different apps on Facebook, Google, whatnot, and that is true. However, this will be way more precise than you can get through normal geofencing on Google and on Facebook. On Google and Facebook specifically, as is on most any other ad platform, you could only target down to the 1 kilometer radius with your ads, which that sounds pretty good, but really it's not. Even if you're targeting somebody that's at a stadium or a hospital or something like that, it's still going to be 80-90% of your money that you're spending is waste, because it's going to cover so much more than that area. And then if you're targeting at somebody going to a certain store, forget it. Now it's 99% waste. If what you have is good enough as far as an offer and who you're selling it to and being profitable enough, you may certainly make money anyway, despite all that waste. In a lot of cases, you can't make money because there's too much waste. And running any kind of display ads for your business, the number one way that you're going to be able to not make money, assuming you have a good offer, is having too much waste in your ad spend. Your ads are, because every time your ad shows up for somebody that it doesn't need to show up for, or that cannot buy, or that you cannot do business with, it's wasted money. Because the higher your click-through rate on your ad, the lower the click-through rate on your ad, the higher your cost per click is going to be. They're directly proportional to each other. So your goal always is how do I narrow down my ads so far, so much, all I have left is people that are Grand Slam prospects that'll buy. Because it'll make money then. It's just a matter of how do you find a way to narrow down and how do you know who to narrow it down to get to that level. So this is just one tool in your toolbox, which you should basically think about as you're trying to advertise online for your business. Where's my customer? Who are they? What are they like? What traits do they have? And then what platform are they on that I could get in front of them with the highest level of accuracy possible so there's the least amount of waste as possible. Because that gives me the highest chance of making money with my ad spend. Or at least if I'm going to start somewhere, that would be the place I should start, given I don't want to piss a bunch of money away before my ads hit profitability so I don't run out of money and I can get to the next thing. So with that said, going into the case study that we ran, the client that we used this for, okay, we actually had a exotic dance club, strip club, whatever you want to say, as a client before. And what we did was, with this, by the way, what you always want to do as far as targeting goes, you can try to target people on a Friday night on Facebook and try to get them to come into your club, okay? But this is obviously very untargeted. So going back to the thing I said before, for the most part, your return's not going to be that great. For the most part, not profitable to just blanket cover males of a certain income demographic that is, within so many miles of an adult entertainment club, gentlemen's club, because there's too much waste circulation there. And in that market, it actually is the case. However, if you can actually tap into data that shows that somebody's going into that direct vicinity, that area where all the bars are, where all the nightlife is, and you can target those people, then it is really profitable. And because there's very little wasted circulation there at that point in time. Though, going back to what I said before, if you're targeting a 1 mile radius around that so-called downtown area or what have you, like we had in this case, what a similar business would have in any city, it's still way tons of waste there, even though it's sort of profitable. But it would be a heck of a lot better if we knew, obviously, that we could get in front of a person who's at these 10 or 20 higher end clubs / bars in the downtown area, because those are all Grand Slam prospects. And in that business, by the way, what typically happens is they go to these initial bars first that are not adult clubs. They get drunk. Why don't we go into the strip club? And then they go there. So your ultimate best prospect would be somebody goes to these bars of a certain age, some certain income demographic, and it's a certain time of night on top of it all. Then it's just like a grand slam on top of grand slam. So anyway, with that said, because it's a little bit hard to target somebody, obviously, that goes into a certain club, you can do this with pragmatic ads, which we've messed around with that a little bit as well, where you can do geofencing around a certain business. You can target somebody that's been in a certain business or whatnot. Okay. Uber Journey Ads provides an excellent opportunity in this specific instance to target the exact people that we want. That is, somebody going downtown to a set amount of bars that we know the statistical likelihood that they go to any one of these bars here is quite good or quite high that they'll also go to our gentlemen's club later on. That is, at least 1% of the time, these people would be willing to come into our gentlemen's club anyway. And how do we get, and what you want to do in that instance is how do we get that 1% to be 3%? Triple it. Because then our club's full and we're making tons of money. You just got to nudge them along at that point in time. All your display advertising efforts for your business should be that, you should be thinking this way. How do we get somebody that's almost likely to go anyway and then just nudge them along at the highest rate possible? That's the easiest thing to do. So with that said, we had an ad, just to let you know about the creative, which if you're going to run any display ad, you need an offer. Just saying, hey, we have a bar downtown, you should come to it. If they've never heard of your bar before, yeah, that might be an okay ad as a brand new bar. But if that isn't the case, like it wasn't in this case either, you shouldn't just be doing that lame ass bullshit. you should be coming up with an offer. What are you going to give me as a user to go down to your bar that's going to make me more likely to come there if I wasn't already going to go there anyway, like significantly more likely? So what do? You have to give them something. First drink is 75% off at XYZ Gentlemen's Club. So what you're thinking is if you're going downtown with all your boys, okay, now you know if I go down to that Gentlemen's Club, they're going to give us the first drink at basically for almost nothing. We might as well just stop down there. And that 25% is your actual drink cost anyway, so you're breaking even on that. And obviously, we would lose money on the first drink because we know the average customer is going to spend at least $49 because we are able to identify through the attendance levels of our club, which you should be doing this as a business owner if this was you. Identifying the attendance levels of your business, having a clicker to give that to the security guard at the entrance, divided by the total take of the club. You get your average revenue per person per night, if you will. And obviously there's lifetime value from a customer, but you should know then in that case, with that method, you could figure out how much revenue you could expect from each person that comes in. Then you could understand how much you could pay to get that person in the first place. That is, even giving away stuff just to get them in the door. Average person spends $50 or right around there like we had in this case. We could spend now $10 easily getting them just to get them in the door in terms of ad cost and then the gimme, if you will. The gimme being we aren't even running that, if you will, at a loss. And then we could spend now $10, $20 just to get them in the door and still be making a really good profit margin on that investment into getting them in the door advertising. So that's what we did there, okay? With that, by the way, you want a landing page to back it up with. And then what we like to do in these type of instances for a local business like this is, like we did here, drive them to a landing page that shows a map physically where it's at, and then a button for them to click to get driving directions. On Google Maps, you can literally have a way to where you can have it where you embed on a website. So if somebody click for driving directions, it'll automatically pull into Google Maps A, the location on the map, and then B, where you can quickly type in your location or use my location itself, and then quickly get the driving directions to go there. So with that, that's what we had on the landing page as well. So when they get to the landing page, all they got to do to get there is just click, I'm half drunk. I just click on that button, boom. It tells me how to get there either by phone, on foot, or in a car. And so that was what we did on the landing page. With that, to really max out the profitability of this, because here's the thing also, a lot of people don't think about when it comes to advertising their businesses. You spend all this time and money and effort to try to get the person who's likely to be a customer of yours into your website, but then you do almost nothing to get them to come to reconsider their decision on the back end. They just want to figure out where's the next new person we can contact that we are not contacting right now. The reality is, if you would have just did a better job with your follow-up on those people, you would have made it twice as many of those people come in, and then therefore, anything you did to get new prospects, in addition to you have now, is going to be that much, way easier to do because it's just easier to find a new person then. So we always use remarketing on every campaign we run. With this, it was no different. But once you get that person to just click on your landing page even once, now we can remarket to them everywhere. On Google, on Facebook. So basically, on the way down to that downtown area, okay, where they're going to be hanging out that night, they're going to be seeing ad after ad after ad after ad on if they're on their phone all night, which most of the people nowadays, is lame. In my opinion, it's lame that you go out to the bar, you're on your phone the whole time. They should be just hanging out. Whole point of going down there is to hang out, not to get on your phone. But people are now. If they go on Facebook, they're going to see your ad again, your offer again. You can even have different offers in case the amount off doesn't get certain people that are already rich to come. You can have another offer. Free upgrade to VIP. Coming in, just mention XYZ. Then you can stack these offers to get it to where because like I said, certain people are going to respond to some things, but not others. But you can have even the same ad show up again and again and again and again. and you'll get way more out of the people you successfully got to click on your ad in the first place to come in. And with there only being so many people you could convince to click on your ad while on the Uber app in the first place, you're just going to get way more out of it. So we had multiple offers show up for them after they left. I gave you one example of an offer that we ran. But routinely, we were able to get people down into the club in terms of dividing the increase in foot traffic to the club, which we were able to track with the counter clicker, whatever you want to call it, at the door. And the increase in revenue, the take at the end of the night. We're able to spend roughly $10 per person that came in terms of advertising / marketing cost with this funnel here, and get an extra $50+ out of each additional person that was coming in. So we got about a 20% marketing cost. For a high margin business like that, that's perfectly fine. So that shows you one great example, at least, of how do you actually get the Uber Journey ads to work for your business, okay? So now, I mentioned up here, sporting events. You could actually do this for if you were a bar that normally gets foot traffic from people after the football game or baseball game, you're like within a mile radius of the stadium. The first thing I'm going to do, if I'm not already packed after those games anyway, a lot of them are going to be, but the ones that are a little bit further out that aren't immediately close by, I'm going to run ads at every person who's at that event to try to convince, in a similar way as this, to try to come into my place. So one of the ways that you can do it is through normal geofencing, or you can use the Uber Journey ads to try to convince the person as they're going to the game, hey, after the game, we are running an after-game special. You're going to get XYZ benefit from coming in. And like I was mentioning before, though, you have to know your numbers. You can't just, the average person's not going to be able to justify throwing $1,000 into this a month for the, 20 games that go on every month until you understand that it's profitable. And it's not, with all the other customer revenue you have coming in, you're not going to be able to tell it's not going to be obvious. People want to advertise and then see their bank account explode, and then that be their determination of whether their ads they're running are working or not. And it doesn't usually work out like that, obviously. So you got to understand your numbers, what an average visit is worth. And therefore, if you get somebody in, what you can pay to get them in the door. Okay, at that point, then you can do something similar to like this, and you can keep track of it. But, advertising to people using Uber Journey ads to people that are picking up certain food, for me, I'm going to use that if I'm like an Italian food restaurant, okay? Somebody's going to pick up food at an Italian food restaurant. I'm going to go and advertise to that person XYZ% off your next order so that they'll at least try mine if they haven't tried it before. And if I have a good product, then I can actually pick off a customer then. So there's different ways to do this. Now, and where are they going? Of course, naturally, if somebody's going to a car dealership, like a Mercedes dealership, now you've got really good information to, if you're another Mercedes dealership that's just down the road, to get them to come into your door, and somebody that's going to be worth going after because they're very likely to be buying a Mercedes in the near future. So there's many different ways you could use this information that Uber's selling to you, which most of these companies that have apps or access to data, they understand where the value is in terms of their company. It's in the data and selling the predictions of consumer behavior itself, where the new profit lies. You can predict what people are buying if you can monitor and spy on their behavior, because that behavior gives clues as to what the person's likely to be buying in the near future, and they could sell those predictions for money. So Uber's here is no different. They're smart. They're selling the predictions of what a future purchase may happen to people that are smart and understand how to take advantage of it, like I told you here. We're doing at our ad agency. So this is one tool that we have to pick to promote mainly to local businesses that we can use in addition to other things that we are doing. It's not going to be everything because you can only get so many people to click on your ads. Only so many people are using Uber, but it's very profitable if you use something similar to like what I'm talking about, or do things the way that I'm talking about here. Guarantee you, if you were in any of those instances that I talked about, even with the examples I gave you, you can make the Uber journey ads profitable. Use a dedicated landing page though with it. Use a dedicated remarketing strategy with it. So every single person who clicks on your ad, you're going to be able to have them tagged so you can remarket the hell out of them multiple times with multiple different things to get them in the door. You'll make money doing that. But with that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. If you have any questions, by the way, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or a comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. You can ask me any ad related question that you would like. And I'll try to as best as I can to use my 15 years of ad experience to put you on the right track with what you're doing. I'm more than happy to do that just as a to say thank you for watching the channel and helping the channel grow. If you are, by the way, trying to find a source of information that's going to help you go on to make millions of dollars running ads for your business, this is the channel you want to subscribe to, as the information on this channel is coming from myself and my experience running dozens of ad accounts on an ongoing basis for clients at our firm, where I just focus on ad strategy. I don't even do the execution side of the business. I just do the ad strategy that is figuring out what's going to work and testing ads all day long. So therefore, the information you're going to get is super valuable, especially considering when you know that 90+% of the other content on YouTube alone is people that are trying to sell courses who ain't running any ads. They're pretending to. They're really just making up information they're going to get from other people who are running the actual ads. Therefore, the information is not nearly as valuable, or you got somebody, no offense to anybody who's doing it, but when you run a campaign or two, not 50 of them at a single time, you don't really know on a broad basis what things will work and what won't work unless you have that broad-based experience. You're going to get it from me on this channel. So therefore, if you're going to pay attention to any channel, this is the channel you want to subscribe to, and you should subscribe to it right now. Beyond that, if you're looking for extra information from myself, I also have a blog on my site at guaranteedppc.com/blog. My blog has actual step-by-step information on certain strategies that we use time and time again to make money for our clients in a guaranteed way that will always work, with step-by-step instructions, with the screenshots, everything you need to use these strategies. So if you want to take things to the next level, you should also check that blog out as well. People who like the channel will almost always like the blog. So you should check that out. Similar to that, if you are looking for somebody that's competent, that can help you get your results on autopilot, do all the heavy lifting for you, this is exactly what we do for clients at our firm. We don't work with just any client out there, but if you are a client that we know we can get great results for, we'll offer to give you a bump in your ads profitability up front for free, just to earn your business, if you will. And that is, we're getting paid our fee basically out of the additional profit we're going to provide for you up front. We're the only agency out there doing that. If you reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com, I'll give you an estimate on how much increase in profit we can get for you, short, medium, and long term. We'll let you know if we can't get you any results, and therefore we're not going to agree to obviously work with you in that case. But if we can get you results, we'll see if we can try to make something work where you can hire us and we'll get you those results, do all the heavy lifting for you. So with that said, if you are interested in that, you can also reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com. Or if you're not looking to work with an ad agency like mine who just does all the work for you to get you the results on autopilot, you want to manage your own ads, we also have a second way for you to use what we have available at our firm to make more money, that is ad templates. If we've worked in your niche market before, and we've worked in over 100 different niche markets in the last 10 years of running this ad agency, you could take the exact ads, the winning landing pages, the winning campaign templates for your niche market, buy them from us, copy, paste everything into your own ad accounts to get the same results we're getting with none of the work. We sell those templates for a low four-figure fee most of the time, and you're getting turnkey profits with it. We've already spent all the time and money to figure out what works in your market. Why not use it, basically? The templates work so good that you could literally start a brand new business centered around that template, whether that be selling leads, as we have had several people do, or if you want to get into e-commerce, you're doing services now, you don't want to do services anymore. Take one of our e-commerce templates to sell an item you could easily get from China, like our client, to sell that same product in a country that that our client is not in nor ever wants to be in, and have another side business that's going that will for surely work. It's if it will work, it's just a matter of executing on that. And you can do things that way. It's like having a business on training wheels, basically speaking. So we've had several people do that as well. So if you're interested in any of those opportunities, you can reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. But I'll wrap everything up with that. Hopefully that made sense. What I shared with you here on today's video, it will be useful to you. It'll help you make money, and I'll see you on the next one. See you later.